not beautiful anymore. We're gonna be going in the game. We're gonna be seeing the game happening right in front of our eyes, but as it goes on. Already coming through, we already have Built by Gamers onto the site of B site, and I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they're really quick with those lock-ins, and just people are just gonna start falling left and right here. B site has been taken by BBG. Spike does manage to go down. It's 15B.
One enemy remaining.
Never mind. Everyone's kind of falling. 1v3 situation.
They have cheat code by themselves on Radiance, trying to get their way across, possibly being able to get a pick here. Only being by yourself, the best case scenario. Trying to at least use some of that utility to dismember the players, try to get those picks. But Blackheart being taken out with one shot already, one enemy remaining on Built by Gamers and cheat code. Oh, getting a nice molly down there. Oh, and the headshot is going to come through. Already at 3K, and the defusal is going to be coming down. That is a clutch if I've ever seen one.
Now there's some serenity.
Well, I mean, that's just proven why Radiance did make this Breeze pick. That was an impeccable clutch, though, coming out from cheat code. Really nice dinks all around, just being able to secure that round. Really unfortunate that BBG decided to give those 1v1 situations instead of swinging off each other, maybe playing for that post-plant utility a bit more, but very well done by cheat code. Moving on to round 2, though, we are going to see those Spectre buy-ups, and Marshall coming out in the hands of Fiend as well, and likely going to go towards Radiant considering the gun advantage, but not counting them out quite yet, and those Trailblazers are just going to give each other a little smooch and humane.
And already Rebo's gonna get one, get another. I mean, they do have these Spectres, so they already have that advantage at hand. Built by Gamers is kind of wavering over here. The site definitely isn't the site, but Fireball's gonna be able to get one, unfortunately being taken down as it goes. And with the Spectres, Rebo getting that 4K down, it's gonna be a pretty nice and easy round going over to Radiance.
Nice and easy, quick round. Nothing surprising there, though, considering the gun advantage. As we talked about, that bonus is going to come out. And it looks like BBG is going to change their minds, go towards the A site this time around with those rifles. Try and use that gun advantage to put this round under their belt. No ultimates are quite online yet, but Fireball would be smart to grab this ult orb in Chop Shop here, have that neural theft online so that, you know, it's available either in a clutch situation or for the upcoming round after.
Oh, and already a flash is coming out from Radiance. They got some information, and cheat code is blinded, but trying to run and gun blind. Nothing is going to come out. Built by Gamers is going to be able to have that upper hand as the flash goes away faster. You have Lurk coming in, but Fireball just is not allowed. Now Fiend does have that rifle, though, Ash. And that rifle's going to be a little bit of a hero rifle here if Fiend can be able to at least connect the shots.
It definitely could be. That Guiding Light's going to get a little bit of information here on Pyramid Ventures. Not quite ready for the swing, but does manage to get away at the moment. But that Toxic Screen is going to come up, cutting sight, making the 3 a little bit more difficult for me.
One enemy remaining.
Shook's getting a little aggressive there. Although trying to get those picks, it's not going to happen. Venture, though, does have these Vandals in hand. Some rifles being left under his wing, and some information is coming out. This is going to be huge. Built by Gamers has... this is probably one of the best, you know, setups that you could possibly have. You have that Sova for that info. Not only that, you do have that Viper to be able to at least kind of cancel the defuse coming through, but Built by Gamers having that one round in their pocket, it is looking pretty good. They just have to really keep this up as Fiend does bring out that operator.
Fiend is bringing out that operator, and, you know, we do have these 2 ultimates online on both sides. We've got that Cosmic Divide available under Rebo's hands and the Seekers for cheat code as well. So those are pretty huge win conditions for those post-plant retakes, being able to use that information. But the Cosmic Divide's actually going to come out a bit earlier just to stall these pushes and gain a lot of Hall's control for Rebo as well, with that Owl drone coming up just to assist.
I've got your trail.
Oh, and that's some good information already. Fireball being spotted. Rebo was trying to get up there, trying to get a pick, if anything, and Already the site is going to be given over to Built by Gamers. So the retake is going to have to be a 5-man. We have some utility that is going to be coming out as the Seekers comes out, so does Cheat Code, and already destroying their way across, getting these picks down, and Cheat Code's really showing us that they have a lot to offer here.
The Trailblazer is going to come out for that information, and it's going to be a hard hold for the attackers. Cheat Code able to get that flick though, 4K onto Fireball, looking for the ace right now. Not quite able to secure it, but going to play for their life instead. Keep the rifle in their hands.
Wow, you can really see why this is Radiance's map. I feel like, in particular, Cheat Code is doing a really good job. You don't see this very often. A Sky, well, you do see a Sky fragging out very often, but being that fragger that you can rely on to be able to clutch those rounds. And I don't think we've talked about this yet, Spicy. Where's the duelist?
You don't always need I mean, a lot of players do tend to play Sky kind of in a duelist kind of fashion. We are seeing that from Cheat Code being able to make those entry retakes, but the Blade Storm's gonna come out right away, the Guiding Light getting some information, but Cheat Code just gonna get 2 there in double doors, traded out by Monsi though.
And there goes Rebo, assisting in the cleanup that's happening with Built by Gamers. Alright, I mean, it's a save round coming out by Built by Gamers, and already BBG's just not having too good of a time here. Monsi does have this Vandal, could possibly get a couple here for the economy, but in the long run, maybe a save might just be able to work out. Although, Monsi does have the economy to have that leeway there. Fiend is going to be taking out Monsi, though, with that Operator. Showing a lot of strengths here. Radiance is able to... They don't really give up the site. They don't play for that retake. They kind of hold it. They don't have, you know, any particular reason to step back. They know that the aim duels are theirs.
Right now, Built by Gamers and is in this economy position where they are at risk of getting into that ping pong economy in that endless cycle of having to go through a buy and a save phase every other round. So this one's going to be pretty important for them to take. They're really going to have to use Fireballs, Neural, Theft to grab that information early on if they're able to get that early pick, make some plays and raids off of that. And then we also have that Hunter's Fury online for those post-plant situations as well. No op shot is going to land right now, but Fiend might meet Monsi here in elbow.
Oh, it's a nice teleporter coming out from Fiend. Shook is feeling a little shook right now as they don't know exactly where anybody is. Fiend is going to be peeking around this corner. I don't know how smart this is going to be. It's going to be able to get one, though. That's a nice peek coming out. That's going to be the first initial pick going over to Radiance and leaving that duelist out of the picture. Let's see who can be, you know, the next step up. Maybe we can see some duelist action coming out from Khan, but as it is just wavering around, seems like it's going to be a push here.
That Guiding Light's going to come out with that information. Some interesting nebulas coming up as well in with the Toxic Screen as well. But Rebo's just got a great hold here. That slow that did come out is going to delay the push into B site for the moment. But we are going to see that Neural Theft grabbing that information for BBG, able to secure this spike plant around the tower.
Oh. It was a lot of wavering on the decision making of whether or not there should be some aggression coming out from BBG, but the aggression without Fireballs trying to make their way through, and Venture is going to be able to get one through the smoke, already leaving Monsi by their lonesome in their own Viper's Pit. This isn't looking too smooth unless Venture could possibly get some information already going through. It's looking a little rough here, Ash.
It's looking rough. The recon didn't quite connect, and the snakebite is going to come out, but I think Venture's just going to go for the stick. Doesn't quite make it, and really unfortunate considering that actually if Venture had just moved, you know, gotten off at half, moved to the side, could have actually gotten that defuse off, but it was also
half the spike.
Yeah,
that is unbelievable. And that's unfortunate too, because Venture definitely couldn't see below the remote control that he had in his hands during the defuse, unfortunately.
Definitely really unfortunate, but you know, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. It would have been tough anyways, even if Venture did manage to get it to half. It would have signaled to Monsi that the spike was only half at that point based on the audio cue, so I do respect the decision to try and get that defuse off in the first place. But Fiend is going to grab that opening pick on Monsi, completely negating the controller off of BBG, which is going to make site so much harder to take for BBG now, considering that they do not have any cover other than those cyber cages that could come out. And Revo's just going to push and take down Shuker.
Oh, and I really like this hold that they're having here. They're having a cross. It seems like Fiend is going to be working alongside Rebo here. It's going to work out pretty well in their favor. Radiance only really having to worry about Fireball. Fireball has shown some commitment, though. They could possibly be able to get up here, especially with Rebo around the corner, but when you peek through double doors, it's not going to work out in their favor. Radiance is really showing, some of the heat here.
And I really do like the team composition that you brought up, that they do have. Starting off on the defensive side, going without that duelist pick, and having a Skye in lieu of that, and having the Sova being able to support the Skye player as well is definitely a great idea. There's a lot of stopping ability in this team composition with that utility. You can really stagger, the Astra Nebulas, the Viper Toxic Screen, Poison Cloud, just for all of that cover. And then you have, those slows from the trademark from the chamber as well, but it looks like it's actually going to be this big Paul's control push coming out from BBG. Venture is going to get that early information though with the Owl drone, and Fiend is just going to take down Blackheart with a Marshall. Another one as well.
Oh, the operator is not in Fiend cam, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, whatever gun Fiend has, it's honestly just game over. Being able to win those fights is really important, and I mean, it's the funneling that's going on here. It's going to work out just a little bit as Monsi's able to get that headshot down, but how much is a Marshall going to be working here against Phantoms and Spectres? Right now, though, that gun's going to come down from Rebo. That's going to be pretty good for Fireball here as they pick this up, but Cheat Code is having a really nice angle waiting.
Toxins going up. Gun here.
He's in this. Oh, taking a lot of poke, and the guiding light's going to come out as well. 34 HP in a dream. The 3v1 situation. And Monsi's kind of in a pinched position here. We've got these
30 seconds left.
holds, kind of aggressive towards the CT side, considering they do know Monsi is stuck in the falls kind of area. Venture is going to be ready for that bridge peak. Take down Monsi. 6-2 now for Radiance. I would like to see BDG maybe trying to waste the utility, playing a little bit more slowly in these upcoming rounds, especially with this buy. Shuker's actually going to pull out that operator, hoping that this Hail Mary is going to make that difference for them.
I didn't know that there was a crab that moved along the map. I'm so sorry. It just caught my attention, and it looks so adorable. But no, I mean, I completely agree. They've been having very slow pushes occasionally, but the idea in that is, when they go for that aggression, they just tend to kind of funnel themselves down one area, and it just doesn't work out in that sense. But we already have Cheat Code trying to get aggressive up here, and they have to be able to counter that. I mean, Shoot does have that operator that could possibly get a couple there. It's going to be able to get Fiend out, but it's already a 4v3 with Radiance having that upper hand, and Cheat Code is going to be able to get 2. And that's going to be pretty huge. That's going to leave Shuk all by their lonesome, and it's either save the operator or lose 4,700 credits.
60 seconds is a long time to try and save a gun, though, all things considered. I think Shuker's probably going to maybe try and get some rifles out of the hands of Radiance right now, but I do want to commend, we just missed the Hunter's Fury earlier this round, but Venture did manage to get 2 picks with that, which is absolutely huge. So the initiators right now are completely going off on the side of Radiance. This Nebula is going to come out some shock darts as well, and Shuker has the information that about 3 members of Radiance are posted up towards the A site right now, and they're working to get this sandwich off on Shuker to get the off out of his hands.
30 seconds left.
Oh, that flash is coming out, but so is Cheat Code's head. But, I mean, what can you do, Ash? I mean, in general, when you're looking at it, Radiance just has a very good hold onto site, and it's just incredibly hard to be able to try to pinch in the members, or even just try to get that aggressiveness to try to push them back. But I think maybe what's missing is some of, a little bit more aggression. I feel like I've seen some pretty hard takes onto site, but it's never been to the point where Radiance has felt any danger or any threat. I think maybe trying to push a little bit harder, using that Skye utility to try to dismember the enemy team, maybe take away some of their sight. I think that's what's going to help them in the long run, but it seems like right here, maybe that aggression is going to be coming through onto this B site. They've been trying some very slow pushes from here on out, but already as it goes in. Ash, this is exactly what we're going to be seeing. But Rebo, it's Shook going in by themselves and everybody else standing, trying to wait for something. But leaving Shook all by their lonesome, it's just going to get that elimination down for the side of Radiance.
Better site control has been taken. Fireball inching their way on now with the operator in hand. The 4v4 situation. Spike has yet to be planted though. We do see two members of BBG still kind of sitting towards the elbow, a B main area. We're going to have Monty actually backing up, likely playing for those lineups, but cutting sound now, not really revealing themselves. I think BBGA is going to go and try to maybe have a rotation called off with the lack of information that they're giving, but that guiding light's going to come out and they're sandwiched once again by Radiance. BBG continues to find themselves in these situations where they're just pinched.
And it's extremely hard. Radiance just knows exactly how to be playing this, and they play at the right positions as well. I mean, you have Sova already waiting by to see maybe some aggression. It's 13 seconds and they still haven't planted that spike, so waiting around. It seems like Ryuko's gonna peek alongside the opposing side. It seems like it's already going down. The points are going over towards Radiance pretty fast, and Built by Gamers has to figure out what they're doing wrong. But I mean, honestly, Ash, you saw that aggression. You had it was good, but the issue was that you did have Chook going in by themselves.
Shook went in by themselves, but the spike also was not planted for what felt like eons, in my personal opinion. I do want to commend BBG. The idea of cutting noise before actually getting that plant down on B site wasn't a bad one. They were, I think, hoping to bait out the rotation from Radiance, making them maybe they'd somehow gone back to the A site. But what they didn't gamble on was the fact that Radiance took that mid aggression, took those pushes out of A main, so already had that information to know that, okay, there's no way they've gone back towards A, there's no way they've gone back towards mid, so they are stuck on B. They had that perfect read on them, being able to make that pinch happen and having BBG just cornered in all aspects. And BBG gambled wrong in that situation, unfortunately. And I think that all things considered, probably should have just tried to get that spike down earlier. They did manage to get it down in the end with the economy, but the amount of time that passed by just allowed Radiance, to actually set themselves up even better. I am hoping more of a default does come out on the side of BBG with some lurks, perhaps. I think we are going to see that lurk coming out from Fireball here, just to negate those flanks a little bit. But I do think you're right with what you said earlier. BBG is giving Radiance a little bit too much respect. Radiance is getting a lot of map control for free, and it's not really being contested.
No, and I completely agree. I mean, with Radiance kind of pushing through and taking majority of the map control on the defensive side, it's just not allowing the attack to come through for Built by Gamers. And as we see that already, two takes are coming out, and Built by Gamers has the lesser. They don't have as many people as Radiance possibly does, and it's already 8-2. They need to figure out exactly what they need to be doing to get these points down, because if these points continue to go over to Radiance, it's just going to be a very hard retake as they go on the defense. But already Built by Gamers is pushing through. They're able to get those takes down, and Shook is going to come through with the operator, leaving only one player on the side of Radiance. Seth is slowly making their way around, trying to get this flank through, but it's not over until we say it's over. I mean, we do see some really nice retakes and clutches coming up from Radiance.
Shook is going to be holding B main with that operator, though. It will be hard to get the peek off to be able to grab sight. The Toxic Screen and Poison Cloud are not available at the moment, as they were already set down, so no cover is available for Seth, but those snake bites are going to come out and actually push the op back a little bit. Still having the angle, though, able to take down Seth. A nice try with the utility, but I like the way BBG played that. They did posture up for, that B default with the Fireball lurking towards A site as Cypher, and they played back instead. They were prepared for those pushes that came out. They allowed it to happen and just played a little bit further back, not quite towards their spawn, but not over committing to the site either, putting themselves in a situation where they have no out and just waited for the flanks. And I think that was a really great decision on their part. We're going to see probably a similar iteration of what happened that previous round. And that guiding light's already going to come out, get that information. And Trailblazers just going to clear sight here.
Oh, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. I mean, Shook did go in there by themselves, try to clear out the space, but everybody else followed behind on BBG, and this is going to allow them to take this site pretty freely. And as you can see, majority of Radiance is pushed back. They don't want to push just yet because they know that a lot of the players are on the site, and this is what I'm talking about. That aggression, pushing back the players of Radiance and not allowing them to take this site is exactly what they needed. And as it comes through, this round might just be theirs, but it is a 4v4. The retake might just come through for Radiance.
Khan also has this aggressive angle up in CT with that information now that most of the players on Radiance are going to be on that lane. The snake fight's going to come out for Shook to updraft, and everybody's kind of dropping like flies here. Time is ticking though. Radiance not able to clutch it out. There wasn't enough time to defuse the bomb anyways, but a better way to close out the half before swapping sides from BBG. It's unfortunate that they didn't get their groove on until towards the end there. I mean, you also can't really fault them. Rebo and Cheatcode are totally going off right now. The stats don't lie. 16-7 and 15-7, taking the top 2 spots on the leaderboard on the side of Radiance. So,
oh, it is rough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe when you think about it, maybe Built by Gamers is just, you know, maybe they're on the defense a little bit. Maybe that's, you know, maybe that's the way that they need to go. They didn't do very well on the attack, but Radiance just, you know, they had an amazing hold on the defense, and you can't really blame them with that. But as it comes out, it seems like already aggression is coming through on the defense for Built by Gamers, and this is what I wanted to see on the attack, but it seems like it's coming out for the defense instead.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I find it interesting too, considering that Built by Gamers did choose the attacking side first, but you can't do too much about it. We do see Fireball has that utility set up on the B site and is taking elbow control here. Will be met with at least one player. Does get 2 picks for themselves. A great way to open up this pistol round. Falling back now, Fireball is playing their life, but is going to be met with Fiend here in mid with that Headhunter.
And this Fiend goes through, might just be able to get another, but the Headhunter is gone. No more. Only being able to use that Rendezvous, not gonna be able to place it down though, and it's gonna be a really nice take here. That Ghost is going to be picked up, but Fiend is not going to be able to get another, leaving only 3 players to be fending for themselves in this 2v3 retake, but Rebo is not allowing this retake to come through. Blackheart does have a little bit of health left to be working with, but it is possible if they play together well here, but it seems like Rebo's gonna peek out, allowing themselves to work as a team. Rebo, and we're gonna see maybe something come out, but yeah, Rebo's just gonna close it out alongside of, I believe it is, alongside Venture, and it worked pretty well in their favor. They played that really well there.
I liked how Rebo played that in that player disadvantage situation, going for that kind of off-brand aggressive peek, trying to get an off angle there, being able to turn it into a 2v2 as opposed to a 2v3, getting that really pick, falling back then to play with Venture, as you said. Then, you know, they're able to close it out as a team, sticking to each other like glue. We're going to see that buy coming up, and it's going to be, I think, a hard comeback for BBG if Radiance is able to put this round under their belt, as they should, considering the economy advantage that they do have as far as things go. But he's actually going to initially whiff that shot, but close it out on Sugar. 5v4 now. And yeah, it's going to be hard for BBG to come back. There's going to be quite a gap that is being made.
Cheatcode is trying to get that dog through some information. Now we're gonna have another. I like this. I like how Cheatcode has the, you know, that Trailblazers are coming through trying to get some information. Venture though does have a drone, you know, is able to tag Con Artist with that drone. Cheatcode following through, and I really like that. It seems like the teamwork is following, and Cheatcode knowing that they are an amazing player, if anything, we've seen so far, and Fireball being left by themselves is gonna have to try to at least get something here to help themselves or the team out. And already, I mean, shots through the wall being fired. It is 10-4 for Radiance, and they're having a really good attacking.
It's great that it was a flawless round for Radiance as well, so everybody is going to be able to bonus without having to purchase an additional pistol if they had lost their gun the previous round, but I would like to maybe see a little bit more fighting for those alt orb controls coming out from BBG. Try to get some ultimates online early on to possibly close those gaps. You do have, you know, Fireball's 2 away from that neural theft. Everyone else is quite a bit farther, so if Fireball's even able to get that neural theft online this time around to at least guarantee a secured round for BBG, that could be huge for them as far as being able to make that comeback happen. But Repo's just gonna hop up to Nest here, hearing that rotation being called and hopefully catching one off guard, and Halls managed to get Monty actually.
On already, we see Built by Gamers is able to hold this site, and that's what we've been wanting to see. Khan being able to take that 3K into their pockets. It's gonna be that 3K plus more possibly if Rebo's. Never mind. As I was saying that, it seems like Rebo's down. I repeat, Rebo is down, and Shuk is gonna get that kill in their pockets instead. Built by Gamers, they surprised us.
They did. I mean, it seems like it's kind of a bit of a sky supremacy right now on the defensive side, getting those multi-kills out. That was huge by Khan. The flick over to the A main as well, and then just right back over was very well done. And we're going to see this operator in the hands of Fiend once again. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Could be shutting some things down quite early on. But I do hope that we do see more of that, the fighting for the alt orbs, as I mentioned before, but it's not going to happen at the moment.
Oh, we do know that there is. We do know that there is Shuk right around the corner. He's going to be taken out, though. Fiend is actually a fiend with the operator. I do have to say, Ash, it is impeccable as to how much aggression Fiend can get through, especially with an op.
That is for sure, but it was really good to have actually the information from the Owl drone to help him out. But we're gonna see this Viper versus Viper battle, but the Spectre run and gun does prevail in that kind of situation. You're gonna make yourself hard to hit, but landing all of your own shots. Fireball here, alone on the B site at the moment to defend themselves.
Fiend is just going through, and I did say it, the aggression with the operator is intense, and it's just working. Fiend is treating it like it's a Vandal, if anything, and already Rebo's gonna get a really nice corner there, just taking out the members. And as it was last round was a bonus. Radiance did lose that round, but the rifles did come out, and it seems like Radiance has found their paving once again. It's gonna be hard, especially with Fiend running around with the op, just completely one-tapping everybody.
I can agree with that. I think in this situation, you know, we are one away from match point on the side of Radiance. Shuk is going to be able to have the Blade Storms online for the upcoming round. Nothing at the moment yet, and Radiance has 3 ultimates online. The Seekers coming out early. They're looking to close out to match point and just finish this map as soon as they can. Rebo is good for 2.
Ooh, he's good for 3. Possibly more, but Venture is going to be able to annihilate with only a classic in hand. Already, Built by Gamers is leaving Blackheart by their lonesome, and Blackheart does not have anything to be peeking off of, but is only going to be able to get 1, possibly 2, 3. Seems like right now Blackheart is having a really good trial. I mean, that's a clip right there. Put that on the Twitter.
Owl Drone's gonna come out for some information in this 2v1 situation. Can Blackheart clutch it out?
Venture. Oh, I have to give it to Blackheart. That was intense. You don't get that every day. The aim there, it's just connected. But I mean, having the operator is just gonna have that upper hand.
A very nice try though, coming out from Blackheart, and this replay on what Rebo did in mid absolutely did BBGA dirty with those flicks, just connecting those shots head to head. We are at match point though. It's going to be a rough one for BBG. This map will likely be going to Radiance as far as things go. The guiding light's going to come out early, but the snake bite and the poison cloud will be slowing things down at the moment. It's pulling a bit of a stall Guiding light is gonna allow Shook to get that one pick and tailwind away.
Ooh, that was a really nice shot from Shoot. That initial pick is going to allow, Built by Gamers to kind of halt that aggression that might come forth. But we do have that Viper's wall coming through, obscuring some division there. I'm not sure if anything is going to be happening, though, because we do have a lot of the players of Built by Gamers holding the site. They do have a lot of that site. They have a lot of that site control, and already it seems like Built by Gamers is... It's just a back-and-forth bloodbath. We're seeing a lot of trades. Position here looking pretty aggressive. Cheat code? I think you could say cheat code is legitimately cheating. I'm just kidding. Please don't quote me on that, but that was an insane shot. I do have to give it to cheat code there, but already 2 players being left, and Fiend having this operator just not going to be able to connect it, though, through the box. The Team Ace going over towards Built by Gamers.
Built by Gamers, not letting themselves drop this map quite yet. They're trying to keep their name in the game. A really great, and not quite a thrifty, but, in a way, they did have to force up, had that gun disadvantage. So very well done on their part, trying to bring these matches a little bit closer. We do have that Viper's Pit available in the hands of Monsi. Likely going to see that coming out early to cover a main here, get that cage control. Actually, they elected not to throw out that early Viper's Pit. We are going to see the tool de force in Fiend's hands and able to take down Shook.
Shook having that operator, it was looking a little rough, especially with that first pick coming through, but Fiend coming through with that tour, the force is going to be able to force back the players of Built by Gamers. They're not getting as aggressive as they normally were, but that Viper's Pit is definitely taking over some of that side control down mid. Already 1 player standing. Venture being able to take out Monsi as that aggression comes forth through double doors. But right now, having that spike in hand, and Venture has had some really nice stuff going around. We do have a Hunter's Fury, though, Ash, that could possibly come through for this post.
Not just the Hunter's Fury, but Venture's whole kit is available. Gonna go for that Owl Drone to get the early information. Gonna see the Owl Drone coming out as well from the opposing team. Recon Dart. Just to see what's going on. But an opposing Hunter's Fury is gonna come out, tag Venture, and it is 32 HP in a Dream, Guiding Light. All this utility is being staggered.
Venture is only going to get one. That one pick was not really all they needed, but and right now that defusal is coming through. Built by Gamers is bringing it up. They're able to get this Team Ace down as the point comes up, but it is still match point for the next couple of rounds, and that's probably got to be a lot on the mental.
It is. I mean, 5 rounds to be able to close it out, to bring it to tie is quite a lot, but we're going to see that timeout coming from Rebo. I think Radiance is hoping to slow down the momentum of BBG a little bit, just stop them in their tracks for a moment before they really get rolling. And I do like how Venture tried to play out that round, trying to get that early pick, turn it into a 1v1 situation, but unfortunately, BBG, they did a really great job. We did see, I believe Blackheart and Con Artist, they're playing together, making sure that the 1v1 situations could not happen, didn't want to run that risk, and that managed to put another point on the board for them. Do you think there's anything Radiance could do in this situation to just try and close it out?
I mean, that's a great question. I think in general they're just having trouble winning these fights here. We were seeing that iteration happening when when Radiance was on the defense. Built by Gamers just couldn't be winning those rounds. But I did say possibly on the defense, Built by Gamers might just be stronger. They did have that aggression coming out occasionally on the defense, and that was allowing them to get those early picks. Not only that, but of course having Shook have that operator and being able to get that aggression through, get those early picks down, that helped out Built by Gamers a lot. And I mean, I think in general, it's a hard take.
I like this Poison Cloud coming out from Seth, trying to, close. Oh my god. Everything's happening so quickly. Cheat code's just deleting people that my brain can't even follow right now. However, Radiance already has control of the A site. It's a 5v3 situation, and the Viper's Pit is going to come out in this post-plant situation.
Oh, cheat code. Only having 15 health, able to get that one-off fireball, and the Hunter's Fury coming through. Radiance, this is the round that they need to win in order to clutch this up, and right now it really does seem like, Ash, this might just be in Radiance's favor. They do have somewhat of a save round, which is interesting enough, too. I guess save rounds are the rounds that you really need to be having in order to win, but Built by Gamers is trying to get aggressive up here, but Revo does have a nice corner showing through, and right now Attackers winning the round. Radiance being able to take this through with
that mid control, having to dash away, but it's going to be largely an A hit here.
Already, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Already some of that aggression coming through, but now we do know that Radiance does know that there's majority of the players of Built by Gamers there. We already have that rotation coming through. We're going to need to get onto the site pretty fast. Already BBG is going to be getting on it, on that site, getting that post plant down. They got a lot of players off as well on the side of Radiance.
They did manage to snag all of those players, so the gamble stack coming from Radiance really did not work out as planned. Free door is going to be broken here. Con Artist posted up, but everyone's kind of just dropping, leaving. Cypher, last alive on Radiance. Seth, very low HP as well, is just going to be taken down through that Nebula. Flawless round coming out from BBG. They are, they're looking to put this map under their belt. You can tell they probably want to take it to a map 3. Ascent is their map pick as well, so they want to show that they do have the attacking power that we did not see as much on Breeze.
I mean, they're showing it pretty well. I liked what was happening. They kind of coordinated themselves in a way where, hey, okay, this first pick's gone. Let's put some util out there, pinch in the players, or kind of put them through, maybe push them back a little bit, and then we'll be able to go through, get those picks down as we go. And it worked out pretty well. I mean, I like the aggression that I saw coming out from Built by Gamers. We're possibly going to see that again. I mean, it worked, so... But when we're looking at the map here, we do see some lurks coming along, so this definitely is not the site that we're going to be seeing come out, possibly a rotation here.
That was a nice owl drone as well. Instead of peeking A main themselves, risking actually walking straight into that 4-person just firing brigade set up on the A site. That Nano Swarm's going to slow the push in from CT, and a pick is going to go out as well, but Jordan in a dream, Rebo not quite able to take down Fireball though.
Oh, and I'm seeing a lot of fast rotations coming out from Radiance here. And that's kind of just allowing Built by Gamers to get onto these sites pretty carelessly, if anything, or at least give them a little bit of a harder time if they're rotating onto the side of which Built by Gamers is on. But well, it is also the beginning rounds, I do have to say, but we are seeing Venture with the Odin here. We're seeing 2 Sovas with the Odin. That's something you see every day, but I like the Odin pick.
I mean, they aren't really fast rotations. I think it's a little bit too premature to be saying that Radiance is pulling these rotations really quickly. Gompers, I mean, they were actually gamble stacking rather than calling those rotations over, but an aggressive peek. We do have Rebo in Wine set up already. Cheat Code did take down that Trailblazer as well to save the information, but Rebo's going to be able to back onto a site, play their lives a little bit more instead of being stuck in that position. Pulse Orb is going to go into the hands of Blackheart. Cheat Code, though, going to get that first pick. It's a 4v5 situation now.
Already getting that rotation through. Killjoy and Con Artist are lurking around, waiting to see if they could possibly get some information through. Fireball, though, does have already some control over main, but we do have 3 players surrounding the site of B on the side of Radiance, and I'm not sure how easy this site is going to be taken since Radiance is kind of anchoring down their sites pretty hard here.
I think what's going on with the B site right now is BBG trying to pull those rotations away from A. You see the spike leaning towards A still. They're listening to see if there's footsteps are happening, calling for those rotations, just waiting. But Radiance just holding firm, holding steady with these defensive default positions, and a lot of poke is going to go out on the B site, and Cheat Code's actually going to be taken down by Spectre.
Down A.
Oh, Revo's going to be able to get one. Here it is. 11 seconds on the clock. We already have 4 players of Radiance trying to get aggressive onto the site, maybe try to hold it, if anything, and Blackheart with the Odin. Venture with the lineups, never mind. Seems like already that spike cannot be planted. Radiance held that pretty tight, of course. I mean, it is a little bit punishable if you're going to go onto site. At such a later time, you have to be able to get those early picks. Not only that, get the picks going onto the site at a specific time if you're going on for 30 seconds. But, I mean, it is going to be looking towards Radiance. They had a pretty good take there.
They had a really great take there as far as their defense goes. They didn't allow any holes to happen, kind of held firm in their positioning. We are going to see this default action coming out once again from BBG, an early guiding light to get that information on A, making sure that nobody's pushing towards wine, and birds are kind of kiss on the map. But Shook has that aggressive angle. I like how Shook and Khan are playing the upper and the lower angles here so that the flick and the spray transfer is a bit more difficult. But not too much map control has been gained by BBG yet. They're going to take down that Cypher trip in mid, push up a little bit past arches. However, the Owl drone from Venture is also going to get a lot of info, actually tagging Con Artist twice.
With that tag coming through, Venture is trying to get some of that spray down, possibly being able to create some of that damage needed down mid. But we do have, I'm really liking what Radiance is doing here. They're just holding on to the sites, leaving these anchors down. Of course, it's a lot of scatter coming around for Radiance. They don't necessarily, they aren't pushing for a site just yet. It seems like, though, just as I say that, B site might just be the site they want to start pushing towards, but the utility has to come out eventually. It is 30 seconds once again, and this is a punishable time. We're going to have to see some very, very hard aggression come through.
Seth has just been hiding back here in Boathouse for the longest time as well. Will be met with Con Artist. Could be a duel here, but Seth's just going to look away at the nick of time. Con Artist is going to secure that kill for their team, but Spike Carrier is down. 10 seconds on the clock.
10 seconds left.
Blackheart with the Odin, what can you do? Already 10 seconds left. I don't think it is enough time for Con, trying to maybe seek out these frags, but it's not going to come towards. Rebo's going to close this out, though, with a 3K in that manner. It is 2-2. Radiance was able to bring this back up, Ash, and it is looking pretty hot. We're going to see a scattered buy round coming here for BBG.
Scattered buy round, but Fireball's going to have that Hero Vandal in their hands. Could be a game changer. A few of the members of BBG are also one away from their ultimates, that being the Lockdown and the Seekers could come out this round if they're able to get maybe a pick or two off of Radiance early on. However, we are going to have that Cosmic Divide in Rebo's hands as well.
Oh, there's a nice gravity well, although it's not going to be able to capture anyone. Rebo has a really nice angle down here, but Rebo by themselves, I don't know how well that's going to work out. Of course, Fireball given some of that heat. Going to have a lot of players rounding about a site, and now it's a 3-man retake here, Ash, against 4 players. We could use some of that Sova util that Venture's given out there with that drone, possibly trying to get some information, but as it is, Seth is just not going to be watching around the corner as they peek.
The Vandal in Fireball's hands was definitely necessary, but Spike still has not been planted. Fiend able to grab those 2 picks. Venture getting one for themselves. It's a 2v1 situation. Monsi, at the very least, does have that Phantom available.
Oh, Monsi being by their lonesome. They were out pretty far down mid, trying to at least watch the lurk, but it just led to a massacre coming down a site. Radiance is going to be able to take this through, though. I love the Odin from the Sova. I mean, you see that a lot, but it works out so well because of the utility to be able to see through walls. And then you're just spraying through them, getting that damage down. I really like the way it works here, especially for Venture. It's working out perfectly.
And I think, unfortunately for Monsi, did go for that pre-fire, giving away their location. No Sobutil actually was needed to make that happen at that time, and the pre-fire, just being able to pen through Generator on A there allowed that kill to happen. The Trailblazer is going to come out instead of a Guiding Light this time, clearing out Wine, and we're going to see that lockdown in A main as well, just to push the defenders off a little bit, but Cypher trips are available on A site at the moment still.
Well, now that the defenders are pushed back, Seth is going to be peeking a very aggressive angle, trying to at least push back the players of BBG. But already, as we know it, the Sova Odin is just a little bit stronger, as we're going to see that go down. Fireball has a really nice molly coming through, though. That's going to be able to hold the push coming up through heaven just in time to get that spike down. But that spike needs to be planted already. It's just a retake coming through. It's hell already. Venture is going to be able to get one, and playing with the team there. Venture is just helping out, holding the cross holds, if anything, and Fiend being a little bit baited out, but in a way where it worked.
Yeah, Venture and Fiend are that ragtag duo in these clutch situations when the clock is running down, and BBG seems to have this really bad habit of getting this map control, getting site control, and not being able to get the spike down, regardless of if it's a team decision or they're not able to because too many gunfights are going out. I think part of the issue was they pushed in a little bit late on that lockdown there, in my personal opinion. I would have liked them to push in before the lockdown was done, because at that point, you're just allowing Radiance the time to get back onto site here, and we're going to have that Odin spray through garage, and a lot of mid control is going to be taken.
Oh, Fiend having to get out of there, of course, being tagged. It's not going to do you any good. A lot of information is coming through for Built by Gamers, but they're not being able to play off of that. They're pretty scattered here, only having that buddy system happening through, especially down mid. But, I mean, Fiend only has 33 health, playing these corners pretty close. It seems like Khan is going to be able to get a free gun here, though. Shuk is hiding around the corner, but Fiend is going to be able to spot that down pretty quickly. BBG needs to figure out exactly what they need to be doing here. It seems like A site, though, is the aggression, is the site that they're going to be taking, leaving only one player on the side of Radiance on it.
I don't know if they are going to think Rebo's still hiding here. Does manage to take down on Artist. The spray is going to come out, but the reload and pulling out the classic, not quite in the nick of time. A 3K, though, for Rebo.
Rebo's always able to get more than one, and I really like that. You can really kind of put all your trust towards Rebo to be able to sit onto the sites and have that anchored down set, because you don't have, you have that Cypher, but if your Cypher isn't on the site that's necessary, you know, under the occasion that you hear that rotation coming through, you can always rely on Astra, Rebo on Astra there. I mean, as you see it already.
It is 5-2 now, favoring Radiance. This is the last buy round, I believe, for BBG. As far as things go, they will be forced onto a save this upcoming round. So this is going to be huge for them. We're going to see that early Hunter Fury coming out. So much map control trying to be taken here. It's not going to happen, though. We're going to see that rotation back towards the A site. The Owl Drone coming to clear things out. But it's going to be a 3v3 situation, and they're completely pinched in A main at the moment, to be honest.
Oh, Steph is pinched in right here. Although, kind of clearing up some of that space. There's a lot of space on site that's not really being held accountable, but right now it does seem like Radiance is going to get that retake down and not allow that spike to be planted. Radiance is just dominating on the defense. We've seen it in the last map of Breeze. We're seeing it now. They're just able to hold on to these sites extremely well.
They're able to hold their sites very well, hold those defense default positions, but they also are doing a good job of pushing out, getting a bit of information, regardless of if they commit to it or if they do fall back ultimately. We do have a few ults online as well, I believe, on both sides, so that could be really big for either team. This time around, this round will likely be going to Radiance, considering the fact that they will have that gun advantage, but BBG seems to be revisiting their strategies a little bit. I'd like to maybe see, I don't know. It's really hard to say. They could go for a more aggressive push. They could go for the default plays. They did play back a little bit there and had Radiance push out to them to get those kills off, but considering the fact that Radiance does do a great job of kind of ratting on one site and perhaps stacking or pushing out of other areas, that's been pretty huge for them as far as being able to secure those rounds. Like I said, ultimates that are online, we are going to have those Seekers, we have that Cosmic Divide, and the Hunter's Fury available. Likely won't see them come out this round unless they're able to either secure plants or maybe get a player or two off of the side of Radiance, but ultimately there are 3 ultimates on the side of Radiance as well, and an early Cosmic Divide is going to come out just to delay any push and allow Radiance to take space if they so desire, which they are doing through A main.
Yeah, that Cosmic Divide's allowing for a push up on the defense, possibly getting into those really nice, cheeky corners. Although it is going to be coming down as soon as it was brought up. There wasn't a lot of push there. It really did hold back the time, and that's going to allow Rebo to get up there and aggressive. Taking out Monsi there, no longer having those smokes is going to be a big deal, especially with Fiend having that operator.
Fiend does have that operator. It's a 5v3 situation now. BBG kind of stuck with this posture towards the A site. Cheat code, though, is going to be ready, getting those picks off. And unfortunately, that staggered swing didn't quite work out. Fireball's able to grab one for themselves, but can they clutch it out?
Oh my gosh. I mean, what do you do in that position? Venture's just spraying through the walls? You're just getting damaged, and you're not even peeking anything. Venture knows exactly where to be shooting with that Odin.
Venture's making work with the Odin, for sure. And, I mean, not every player is able to do that, to be completely honest. Not everyone has good control of the LMGs as far as things go. But to be able to just pre-fire those corners, those wall-bangable areas are huge, because regardless of if the kill actually does land, usually you are getting a lot of damage off, which Venture is doing. But I do hope to see... maybe Blackheart will go for an early Hunter's Fury pick here if they're able to spot anything mid. The Nebula is going to give some cover as far as Cat goes. They're going to go for some mid control once again, but the Sova drone, Owl, is going to put a stop to that a bit early on, just tagging the players. Shoot, who's trying to push up mid. Oh and the Odin too!
Oh, Venture's utility is amazing. You have the Odin coming through. Not only that, spraying through the walls to be able... The moment that Venture has that tag come down with that Owl drone or whatever it be, it's just the spray through that completely damages the team of BBG. I feel like, in general, being able to dismember the Sova and being able to take out Venture, that's going to be the leading cause.
It is going to be the leading cause, and 5v3 here. Cheat code, good for one, is going to be traded out by their double here on the A site. Fiend not able to get that op shot, though. Everything's just kind of chaotic at the moment. We're going to have door closed, but Blackheart's still not able to get the spike planted.
I've got your trail.
Oh, and the Seekers. That's going to be coming through.
Spike planted.
Spike is coming down. It is planted. We're going to have to get this retake. Although there's a 2v2 here, it is possible. Sova does have some pretty nice util here that could help, but Sep has to get this flank in a very timely manner to be able to get one, able to get two there. It is going to be helping. It's going down pretty nicely. Sep had a really good timing there. I think that's the main thing you have to do. Cypher doesn't have that utility that could possibly allow him to push through, but Venture helping out there with that recon dart to possibly get some information. And then having that wide swing out, that definitely helped.
Right here.
I agree. I also think that, playing Hell there just wasn't the right way to go as far as things are. Having that Odin in Venture's hands, Venture has proved themselves to be a total madman with it, being able to get those wall bangs, and playing Hell in that situation is definitely dangerous because a player like Venture on this Odin is going to know what angle you have to shoot for to get those picks off, and Hell is a dangerous area, all things considered. We are going to go into this upcoming round, though, on a save from BBG, so they can afford for the last round of the half. Hoping to see some ultimates maybe coming out to secure the round. Venture's going to go for these wall bangs. Not going to connect at the moment, though, and that gravity well, though, is going to cause a little bit of discord in B-Link, and BBG's playing a little bit more slowly this time around.
I'm seeing a lot of slow pushes. I mean, you said it right now. A lot of slow pushes. We're playing this slowly once again. And, I mean, it's just kind of singling out the players at BBG, really? We're taking these 1v1s, and we have Radiance peeking together, having these really coordinated takes. Not only that, but, I mean, Venture is his own person at this point. you can't really have one person peeking Venture because it's just a deadly annihilation with the Odin. But, I mean, already coming through, it's going to be one for Sep. And a spray down coming out from Venture. These shock darts are doing some really good damage. I really do like the utility coming out through there, but BBG is going to get this site not freely. It was a pretty hard fight going on to site here, and a lot of the players were eliminated. It is a 3-man retake, though, for Radiance, and they do have that upper hand.
I like the Seekers that
One
came out
enemy
trying to get that
remaining.
information. We've got that
Planted.
Nova Pulse here as well. Khan is stunned in this 1v3 situation no longer, but cheat code's just gonna annihilate Khan Artist here. That gun disadvantage, unfortunate for them. You know, this is gonna be the last round coming up before half. BBG's not in the greatest position, all things considered, but might fare a bit better on the defensive side. We did see
Last
them having
round before
trouble
the switch.
with attacking the last map, and it is happening once again, but in a bit of a different fashion this time around. And however, this last round, it should go to 9-3, considering that we do have that lockdown. We do have that Cosmic Divide. We have the Hunter's Fury as well, and if Shuk gets into any kind of sticky situation or maybe wants to take some aggressive plays, has that Blade Storm available, I would like to see maybe BBG fighting out to not allow any alt orbs to go in the favor of Radiance and get, I believe it is... sorry about that. My brain kind of just melted a little bit. Con Artist closer to those Seekers so that they could be one away instead of 3.
I mean, it's going to be hard. We do have 2 ops coming out, and Chico's going to be able to get 1 there. That Hunter's Fury not going to do much. That's an ultimate going down the train, and already a lot of util being used on the side of BBG. But it is an Odin showdown. It seems like Blackheart versus Venture, who's going to be able to do the most damage here. But having those 2 operators is not going to be easy, especially now that we're coming through. We do have that Cosmic Divide, and an Odin. That Venture's going to be spraying down here to kind of at least push back the players, but it's not going to work out. Already that aggression is coming through. Astral, though, coming in favor for Rebo. Not going to be picked off just yet.
Oh, unfortunate. Odin does win in that wallbang situation for 3v3 situation. I mean, BBG actually able to get the spike down this time around, but not counting Radiance out quite yet. Fiend is going to fall.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, and Bloodbath coming here. Cheat Code's trying their best to be able to clutch this up, and we see some Cheat Code clutch, but it's not going to be the day-to-day Monty. It's going to be the monster in this showdown. It is 9-3. BBG was able to take this 1 point in their hands before it went. This is the point that they want to get. You really don't want to be 10-2.
I agree with you, and BBG is going to have to win this pistol. They're going to have to win this pistol. They're going to have to win the bonus round as well. Who knows if they're going to be able to take round 3. Likely will go to Radiance because of that gun advantage. But you can't count out those little eco rounds. People can pull some crazy things out of their back pockets. But to be able to tie it up even closer, like I said, the pistol is going to have to go in the hands of BBG. And so is the bonus, so that they can get it to 9-5 instead of risking, you know, the 10-3 and then what would likely turn into an 11-3 as well. I'm interested to see how they're going to play out these defensive positions. We're going to see that Killjoy on the B site this time around in a 3-stack towards A.
Oh, and I'm seeing a lot of mid control, and I like that. That's going to lead to more site control, if anything, and already we're trying to get some of that. Some of the players of Radiance going on to site already. We see some aggression coming out from Team. He's going to be peeking through, although having that frenzy in hand is definitely going to be saving Blackheart's life, and getting peeked out. It is looking like Radiance might just be able to take this through here.
2v3 situation. Spike is going to be planted on the B site. We do have Monsi and Shuk able to play together on this retake here. 1 star, I believe, is available. Not been placed quite yet, but there are options for cover at the very least. The Venture does have the recon for that information. I like this double dodge play here, actually.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, I actually really like it too, and already Cheat Code up, working alongside Venture. I mean, I wanted to say this before, I didn't get the chance to. Venture is just the type of person you work with anyone. Venture's that really nice communicative player that you can really tell has the communication skills simply due to the fact that whenever those retakes happen, or whenever, you know, these situations happen where Venture and someone else is left alone, you see them playing for contact, you see them playing for those cross holds, you see Venture being able to give out that utility to have that wide swing come through. And Venture, honestly, is that player you want to have on your team. Venture's been one of the leading causes to these magnificent retakes and to these really good aggressions onto site.
We are seeing the gap grow. 10-3 now. Fireball buying up here with that Bucky, but no one's taking the bait in B main. It's actually a default lean towards the A site this time around. But wine control is now in the hands of BBG as well. Rebo's looking to get this market to pizza control here, but ultimately decides to fall back, likely going for tree, trying to help their team out, get that pinch off on the A site. But BBG is actually going to take down Radiance in this situation. 5v4 now, but a lot of poke on BBG still.
Seth has a really nice angle here. I mean, a lot of the players at BBG only have a little bit of health to be working with, so, I mean, when you think about it, right now, Radiance has a really good take here, but you have to be able to watch those corners, and it's gonna happen. Right now, what is a 2v2 with Seth only having that 18 health, but just enough of a match for, you know, for the opposing side. Sova, we could possibly be able to see Blackheart be taken down here, especially as we see that really hard take onto sight come through, but the Ares is a little bit stronger. That Ares is next to Fiend. I don't know what Fiend is going to take in.
Fiend does have that Spectre in hand, but Fireball's actually going to close out the round with the classic. Not letting things go quite yet. I mean, they had that Bucky in a dream. Nobody took the bait, but luckily they were able to take this round for BBG. 10-4 now, and winning. I mean, they did force up, I believe, all things considered, so not able to get full rifles all around on BBG, but we'll have those Spectre buys, and Blackheart's actually going to opt for the early Odin. They are going to have to close this round out as well. Yeah, it's going to be... They're slowly closing the gap, not letting things go quite yet, and hopefully might be able to get Radiance in that ping-pong economy position where they are going to be on that off, you know, buy every other round kind of situation.
Seth was trying to get some information there, but it didn't go through. It was just shot down a little too early. But yeah, Cheat-Code does have some of that damage coming through, and oh, it is a save round. So, I mean, it looks like BBG is going to get aggressive up here with the utility that they have, with the guns that they have. And, I mean, best case scenario for Radiance, you have to be able to at least get some players out. And as I say that, Seth's body goes down. Just flops straight onto the floor. BBG has a really nice angle coming through here, but it seems like Radiance is just going to be able to find that Spectre coming into the hands of the players. And BBG Monty is pulling through alongside Shuk here. It is that sixth round going over, that fifth round going over to BBG. My apologies. And Radiance is, I feel like it's a repetition of what we saw on Breeze. As you know, BBG goes on the defensive, they start to gather these rounds once again.
Yeah, and I do want to commend Radiance. I did like that play. I like the idea of going for that market control, getting into CT, catching the rotation off guard. Unfortunately, they did gamble wrong in a way. Going towards the A site were met with more players than less. However, it's a new round here. Guiding Light is going to grab a lot of that information, and Fiend already has the Blade Storms online. Looking to get a pick here on Shuk, perhaps, but the corner's not going to get checked by Rebo. Fiend for the refrag, but Con Artist is there to answer as well. It's a 4v3 situation.
Oh. Radiance needs to be able to, and then honestly, I mean, as the players go down, I don't know how much of a clutch this can turn out for Radiance. I have to be completely honest. Venture is trying to play, you know, by themselves here. Out, not really using the util. There wasn't any to be using. Blackheart's going to shut that down pretty quickly. But being able to get two there for Venture, that was huge. That's going to help out Seth just a little bit more. But, I mean, information already coming through. Ash, it's looking like it might go to BBG here.
I wouldn't... I mean, 2v1, it could be anybody's round still, Seth, especially if they're able to get a pick on the A site. But I do like how we are seeing Venture back off. Sorry, not Venture.
30 seconds
Blackheart back off to play together rather than risking, you know, defending A site on their own, having that 1v1 happen. They're going to leave it open and play that retake instead, but Seth's still looking to see if they can get that early pick, clearing out site completely before going for the plant. Spike is going to manage to get down. See that Cam coming out for the info as well, but Seth is stuck, actually no longer playing Hell, no risk of that wall bang area, but Jenny is a pretty bad wall bang area as well, and with door open here, it could be tough.
Oh, Seth has a really nice flank coming along, but Blackheart is going to be peeking around the corner anytime soon. Oh my. You try to avoid the Odin wall bangable spots, but you end up just getting dropped by the Odin regardless. Oh, it's the Sova Odin duel at this point. You really have to be careful of the Odins. I love how the Sovas are the ones always being left alive, you know, last, but I mean, it really does show that they have the clutch genes. Just 10-6 though, BBG is taking it back as much as possible. We do have 3 ultis coming out for BBG as well. Blackheart could possibly use that Hunter Fury to kind of push back the aggression that might just come out right now, but it is a save round, Ash. I don't know how much... I don't know exactly what's going to be happening here for Radiance.
I think if Radiance gets a first pick on BBG here, I believe that we will see Cheat Code pulling out those Seekers, trying to get that early information to see where the majority of BBG is playing. But it's going to be an aggressive mid-take so far, kind of just rushing through and mowing down Shuker with the Spectres. You gotta love the run and gun that's coming out. And they're going for that CT play once again. Actually, not quite.
Ooh, I mean, this is best case scenario when you think about it. Being able to get, you know, really up and in there with the Spectres and getting those close range battles, it seems like right now Radiance really did the best that they could do. They have the weaponry to be able to kind of clutch this round up. And the aggression, especially with those Spectres, you have to be able to play for those close angles to be able to at least get some of that damage through. And it worked out pretty well.
2v5 here. Con Artist is going to manage to grab one for themselves. You have that Cosmic Divide still available, but not going to go up quite yet. I actually think it is going to be a save round this time, coming from BBG. Not really wanting to risk losing those guns, losing those rifles in this situation, since clock is ticking. When you're in a 2v4 like that and the time has already run down, it's usually better to save than try and frantically push in and maybe get those trades off and perhaps get the defuse. So I do respect that decision. You do see a lot of teams will tend to kind of just run for it and try to make it happen instead, but a smart play from BBG, considering that they would have been forced onto a force-up buy that's a little bit scuffed this time anyways.
I mean, Radiance, their economy is looking really nice right now. Surprisingly enough, BBG is not. This is the round that they need in order to kind of stop the pattern that Radiance might just build up here. I mean, this is what we saw on Breeze. We saw Radiance get that one round that they needed to be able to know, hey, this is working. We can do this. And I mean, if they let this continue, Radiance might just be able to kind of get their way onto that match point and bring it to the victory. Radiance is already getting that aggression through, and it's not going to be that first pick going through. It's going to be 2! Although going over to Cheat Code. Cheat Code is really bringing the heat onto this round. They know, Radiance knows that this is the round they need to win to bring this all down to the victory. And BBG, I mean, they're not ready to accept this.
They're not. It is one round away from match point. Cheat Code has that guiding light available to get some information here, but the Owl Drone's going to come out first. Looks like BBG is going to go for that tree play, breaking the door here. Guiding Light does get the info that no one is Heaven at the moment. Fireball and ready to meet one. And it's going to manage to take down Seth and the Trailblazer.
I mean, for BBG, it was just an explosion that went onto their site. They couldn't really hold it. It just happened way too quickly at the bat of an eye. Right now, Khan, this is a great decision, being able to save that Vandal in their hands, because they could buy for the next person, save that Vandal and kind of help out the economy just enough. But it is match point, Ash, and Radiance is looking pretty dominant.
Match point.
Radiance is they're looking dominant, and BBG's got to be feeling a little bit rough. I mean, I'm sure the mental isn't going quite well on their side at the moment, all things considered. You know, when it's your map pick and you're losing 12-6, I mean, you still have a good run under your belt, but you could see that they were struggling a lot. I am disappointed that those ultimates didn't come out like I was looking for to make that stalling ability happen, but I believe we do have the Cosmic Divide still available. Hopefully it will come early on just to maybe slow that push. And hope none of those ultimates fall early on. I hope those players do play their lives a bit more. Trailblazer gonna clear that wine area, and Radiance is just ready to take the A site, but might end up pulling a rotation back instead, actually.
Khan's trying to get some information, see where everybody is at mid. Maybe try to detect this rotation coming through, but it's just way too quiet for comfort. Yeah, BBG should be able to notice that, hey, it's a little bit too quiet. We need to be able to have some more attention lowering over to B site. And as I say that, already Killjoy is going to be coming over to Blackheart, assisting in this mid and B watch.
The Cosmic Divide's gonna come out, like you said. Just delaying that push a little bit more, making Garage kind of scary to go through, but instead of using utility, they're just gonna swing through it. Market door is gonna close. Some Killjoy utility will be taken down. And Blackheart's actually gonna fall on site. A second Cosmic Divide coming out now. Radiance in a bit of a sticky situation with whatever is going on behind the wall here. Spike is gonna go down on site though. It'll be a 4v5 retake.
The spike is planted, and it is a 4-man retake, but we do have possible util that could come out. I know Khan does have their flashes, and right now we're gonna see Shook playing off that, trying to at least get something down. They have to know that there's a couple of players surrounding themselves down in Garage, and already it seems like it's going to be a battle to the death as to whether or not BBG can clutch this up to be able to save the rounds, but Radiance is going to be taking this in a 13-6 fashion. One last round